Hello viewers, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Have you applied to come into Canada either on a study, visitor, express entry, provincial nominee? You're waiting for your PR card and you have been delayed because of this COVID-19. You probably do not understand what is going on based on the timeline. You're so much confused about the whole stuff. All right, in this video today, I'll be sharing with you the latest information we got from IRCC on the timeline, on the latest timeline for some of these applications, for some of these visa, so that you can get to know and you can stay informed. Alright viewers, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. This is Canada Reality, where I dish out content for those that are in Canada and those that are planning on migrating to Canada. Peradventure, this is your first time on this YouTube channel, please do me the honor, hit on the subscription button. There's a notification bell beside it. Click on it so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And for our returning viewers, thank you very much for believing in us, and we will not disappoint you. Alright, let's get into the topic. Okay, so just like I said earlier on when I started, that I'll be telling you about the latest timeline that was given by IRCC. You want to agree with me that because of the COVID pandemic, everything is now erratic. The timeline is not being followed anymore. So many people have been left hanging. So many people are waiting for their PR, for their CEO PR. So many people have applied for study for, so many different things. It's no thanks to COVID-19, no thanks to pandemic. And I feel people understand that. But IRCC now, they have now come out now on their website to give the timeline, to let us know who they are attending to, which application they are looking into now, which one they will be looking into next, and the timeline, so that you can get to know where you stand, when they will probably get to your turn. And I feel that is good, and that's why I feel I should share this with you, because I get this information, I get this question rather from a lot of my viewers asking me, oh, I've submitted since 2020, I've submitted since 2019, I have not gotten any feedback. So hang on tight, I'll be sharing this with you. All right, so let me start with permanent residents. So IRCC made us understand that as of now that I'm doing this video, that they released the information that they are presently working on Canadian experience class applicants, Canadian experience applicants that apply for permanent residence, and those that apply between May 24th to May 30th of 2020. Once again, May 24th to May 30th, 2020. That's last year. Canadian experience class applying for PR. Those are the people that they are presently applying, they are attending to as of now, ending of March. So that means that probably by next week, in the next 2 weeks, they will probably finish that and they'll be going into the next timeline. So if you have submitted your application within that range of May 24th to May 30th, then your application is being dealt with now. So you have to keep praying now, because your application is being looked into. If you have submitted afterwards, then you have to wait for your turn. The only people that should feel concerned now are those that have submitted before May 24th and they have not received anything, because they probably passed your timeline and you haven't had anything. So you can just submit a web form to let them know that you passed your timeline and you haven't gotten any information. All right, so let's move to those that are applying for PR card. So if you're applying for your PR card, IRCC just stated that you should go to the website. There's a website which I'll be linking in the video description, where you can actually use to track the status of your PR card. And it is in two phases. Those that are applying for the first time, they're just processing your PR. Normally it takes like 125 days. And those that are trying to renew their PR card, it takes an average of 80 days. But you have to go to the website, which I'll be linking in the video description, if you are applying for your PR card. So go to that website, and from there you can actually track the status of your PR card and know what state you are presently. So moving on to citizenship, for those that are applying for their citizenship, either you want to take the test or you've submitted your application, you haven't gotten anything, you're waiting for your whatever. So for the citizenship, this is the timeline. So grant of citizenship, so applicants that received AOR, you have received your acknowledgement of receipt letter. So the status is that for those applicants, they are finalizing most applications received between March 31st and April 6, 2019. Okay, and for grant of citizenship, for those that are waiting to receive AOR, you have submitted your application but you have not received your AOR. AOR is an acknowledgement that shows that they have received the application you submitted. So the information is that they are sending letters for applicants received the week of January 21st, 2021. So if you have submitted January 21st this year and you haven't received January 21st, rather, they are the ones that they are sending acknowledgement of receipt to now. So if you have submitted after that period, you don't need to be perturbed. Just relax. They would get to your turn. The only people that need to be concerned are if you have submitted before January 21st and you have not received an acknowledgement of receipt, then you should be worried and you should start troubleshooting. So now let's go to family application. Family application, you're applying for your spouse, whatever. So let's talk about family application. So if you applied for spousal common law dependent child sponsorship, you're trying to bring your spouse to Canada or your child to Canada. So inland means you are in Canada. So the status is that they are finalizing most applications received between September 29th and October 5, 2019. I mean, it's a huge backlog for that. I mean, can you imagine they are still treating the 2019 cases now? So you have to be patient, you have to relax. They are on it. So for those that are inland, for those that are outland, so they are finalizing most applications received between May 26th and June 1st, 2019. So the backlog is there for sponsorship of spouse and dependent children. The backlog is there because they still have application dating back to 2019. So you have to relax and keep your fingers crossed and be hopeful and stay prayerful. So for parents and grandparents, you have to check your online account. So for those that are applying to sponsor their parent, from the online account, you can actually check the status of your application on IRCC website. And for those adopting child or other relative, you can also track it online. So let's go to temporary workers. I mean, those that are trying to come into Canada on temporary work permit. Let us see their timeline. So work permit outside Canada. I mean, if you're applying for work permit outside Canada and you did an online application and you're eligible for global skilled strategy. So the information is that they are finalizing most applications received between September 20 and September 26, 2020. And for work permit outside Canada and you submitted online, but you are not eligible for global skilled strategy, you have to check online for the status of your application. So for work permits outside Canada and you did a paper application, so they can't give a processing time now. That's why it's always advised that you should do an online application because that's faster. For paper, now they're saying that they can't even give a timeline for that. So for work permits outside Canada, initial extension and changes, and you did that online, they are finalizing an application received between December 13 and 19, 2020. So for work permits inside Canada, initial extension and changes, and you did a paper application, they are finalizing application received between December 13 and 19, 2020. So for asylum seekers, you are trying to seek asylum, refugees, claimants, and you did an online application, they are finalizing most application received between December 6 and 12, 2020. So, I mean, keep your fingers crossed. And for asylum seekers that filed a paper application, finalizing most application received between December 6 and 12. Just like I said, you have to look at this timeline. When did you submit your application? If you have submitted your application before this timeline and you haven't received any feedback, you should be concerned. But if you have submitted after this timeline, then you have to relax and stay hopeful. Okay, so now let's go to student visa for those that apply for study visa. So for those that apply for study visa, so IRCC made us understand that the present application that they are working on now is those that submitted between December 13 and December 19, 2020. December 13 to December 19, 2020. If you have applied for study, extension of your study visa, those are the things you applied for. That is what the timeline that they're presently working on now. So if you have submitted after this timeline, you should stay hopeful they will get back to you. But if you have submitted before this December 13th to 19th and you apply for study visa and you haven't heard anything and you submitted before this time, you should start troubleshooting now and start probably contacting them so that you can know the status of your application. Okay, so for those that applied for visitors visa, So the thing is that if you apply for visitor's visa and you haven't heard anything, the information is that you should key in go online, go to IRCC website, and you can track your status on their website to see the status of your application. So online, when you log into your application, you can see probably it's still processing, it's done, or it's whatever. So you will see the status of your application. So that is what you have to do. And don't forget that visitors cannot come into Canada now except you're a relative, immediate family member of a PR, permanent resident, Canadian citizen, or you have a very tangible reason for you to come into Canada presently. Okay, viewers, I hope you actually understood the video that I brought for you today on the various timeline for different applications as released by IRCC. If you enjoyed this video, please smash on the likes button, and if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, it doesn't cost you anything. Hit on the subscription button, turn on the notification bell, so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And likewise, you might also want to follow us on our social media handles, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us, Canada Reality, especially on Instagram, because every Sunday I do what is called Instagram Live, where I bring in a resource person, I bring in somebody to come and talk to you. Probably the person applied for study and is in Canada now. He or she always come. I've done like 3 episodes in the past, so you might want to visit my Instagram channel page, Canada Reality. Follow me on that page so that you can stay in tune, stay informed when I bring in a resource person to come and talk about how he or she went about applying for the study, work, whatever, and how they eventually find themselves in Canada. Okay, till I come back to you again on this YouTube channel, stay out of trouble, and I hope to see you in Canada very soon.